Javed, thank you so much for joining us with those details. Meanwhile, we are tracking an absolute political earthquake shaking up the southern corridor, one that is threatening to completely rewrite the electoral future of Tamil Nadu. Viewers, in a stunning high-stakes development, former state BJP chief K Annamalai has travelled to New Delhi to meet with national leaders, including National Joint General Secretary Nitin Nabin and Union Home Minister Amit Shah, to seek an amicable, cordial separation from the Bharatiya Janata Party. According to highly placed sources, the firebrand leader has flatly declined multiple central offers, including a Rajya Sabha seat, stating that he sees a limited future for himself within the current party structure. To understand why this is a massive national headline, you first have to understand who Annamalai is and how he became such a viral sensation. Long before entering the political arena, Annamalai was a highly decorated Indian Police Service officer from the 2011 batch. He was known as the Singham Cop during his postings in Karnataka. His reputation was that of being someone who was aggressive, uncompromising, and absolutely honest officer. This won him a massive following amongst ordinary citizens. Then in 2019, he shocked everyone by resigning from the police force to return to his roots in Tamil Nadu. He officially joined the BJP a year later, and his rise through the ranks was quite historic. Within just 1 year, the central leadership appointed him as the state president of the Tamil Nadu BJP, making him the youngest chief in the state unit's history. Annamalai became an overnight political phenomena because of a brand new style of politics that Tamil Nadu had never seen from a national party. He was a master of media interaction, completely dominated social media feeds with data-heavy and sometimes very aggressive rants. He launched a massive statewide foot march called the Enman En Makkal, My Land, My People Yatra, walking through all 234 assembly constituencies. His straightforward anti-corruption rhetoric connected deeply with young aspirational voters who were quite tired of the traditional political establishment, as we have now seen in the 2026 results. So almost single-handedly, Annamalai transformed the BJP from a fringe player in the state into a primary, highly visible talking point, successfully raising its profile and capturing the imagination of millions. So why does the man who was projected as the absolute future of the Saffron Party in the South now want to separate from the BJP completely? It actually comes down to a deep, unbridgeable strategic disconnect between Annamalai's long-term vision and Delhi's short-term calculations. The primary breaking point, we've been told, was the party's alliance strategy ahead of the 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections. Annamalai firmly believes that for the BJP to genuinely grow, it needed to completely reject traditional Dravidian alliance crutches. He wanted an independent, solo fight to build a permanent, organic grassroots base, which is actually what the BJP has done in several other states if you think about it. However, the central leadership panicked about immediate electoral numbers and chose to revive its short-term alliance with the AIADMK. To make matters worse, as a condition for that coalition, AIADMK leadership reportedly demanded that Annamalai be sidelined from the forefront of the campaign. And as we saw in the past 2 years, Delhi actually did comply with that. Imagine just 2 years ago, Annamalai was a national sensation. He was turning several eyeballs for the BJP, getting several headlines for the BJP from the south. But ultimately, he could not deliver in the polls at the national level, and that was perhaps the beginning of his downfall within the party. For the state polls, Annamalai was replaced as state chief. He wasn't given an election ticket and was largely boxed out of the campaign. But sidelining Annamalai didn't work for the BJP's alliance math completely, right? Because it did backfire in the 2026 elections, where the party's vote share has plummeted. It's managed to just win a single seat. So compounding this problem is also the rise of actor-turned-politician Vijay and his party, the TVK, which swept over 100 seats in its debut election, ending the traditional DMK-AIADMK duopoly. Annamalai supporters now believe that BJP's decision to muzzle him completely actually paved the path for a Vijay to capture the entire anti-establishment youth vote that Annamalai had spent 5 years working to cultivate. What's interesting is that this is perhaps the first time in a long time that the BJP is finding itself in the middle of a political controversy wherein a party leader has decided to exit. And this move also speaks volumes about how Annamalai thinks and moves. Realizing that he has outgrown the room and that the central party's compromise on core principles leaves him no room to lead with long-term autonomy, Annamalai has chosen an honorable exit. Sources close to him are now indicating that he plans to launch a major nationalist anti-corruption public movement to build a volunteer network from scratch rather than rushing to form an immediate political party. While his next steps, of course, remain a suspense, one thing is entirely clear: the Singham of Tamil Nadu's politics is getting ready to chart an entirely independent path. So did the BJP make a mistake by giving up on Annamalai far too quickly? Time will tell, and we take this conversation forward. With me on the broadcast, Ms. Kalyan.